Sir, truth is a tree with bitter roots, but it always bears a highly delicious and tasty fruit. So truth is the weapon that compels the mighty cannon of money to surrender before its magnanimity and splendor. Sir, Russell says, truth is a scale which differentiates between fair and foul, and fair for truth and money for owl. When owl cries, truth tries to attain its summit, which apparently appears to be unattainable because of the bottlenecks of money, but truth makes it attainable with its own might, vim and vigor and zeal and zest, because truth is the best. In the first instance, I do have this privilege to make you understand the real connotation of the topic that I have been given to express my viewpoint in today's honorable house. Sir, the resolution of the day, when money speaks, truth remains silent, is like living fool's paradise, as my opponent is residing in. Sir, if an ass is taken to highly profile educational institutions, it never means that he has attained the wisdom and intellect, because these never come with money, but with truth, devotion, and dedication. Sir, be just and think for a while the depth of the sentence that money ultimately receives slaps, but truth claps. Money stands for evil forces, but truth for human wisdom, patience, tolerance, and forbearance. The victory of money is makeshift and transitory, while the victory of truth is permanent and everlasting. Money is the legacy of paternal and maternal, but truth is forever and eternal. Sir, the battle between fair and foul has been going on from the day first to this day, and money has always been trying to swallow the truth with its bloody jaws, but money has always to lick the dust at the hand of truth. Sir, the positive awareness in the youth is the truest witness of this fact that when truth speaks, money becomes a tongueless baby. Sir, I would like to ask my opponent, had money been so powerful, America would not have dialogued with Taliban. Had money been so powerful, America would not have brought successful resolution on Syrian issue. Israel had no dialogue with Turkey on the issue of freedom flotilla. There would have no revolution against Hosni Mubarak in Egypt, no revolt against Bin Ali at Tunis. Israel had no dialogue with Turkey on the issue of freedom flotilla, and America would not have withdrawn her forces from Iraq and Afghanistan. Sir, tell me whether it was not the power of truth when we got our various air bases vacant from American occupation. Tell me, sir, what money did when we disconnected the NATO supply, but it was not the power of money, but the power of truth. Because truth is the tonic which strengthens and invigorates the weaker, the poor, and even the downtrodden. My Lord, truth helps the destitute, but money the prostitutes. Sir, had there been no power of truth, if the Khan Chaudhry would not have been seated back to his chair, he deserved the restoration of judiciary, a slap on the face of money, the suspension of license of Babar Awan, the appearance of Rahman Malik with his current boss before the venerable lordship confirms the victory of truth, as truth is the rule of law and money is martial law. Tell me, sir, where's the arrogant commander who used to frighten the whole nation with his mighty blows, but he himself has been blown out with the might of truth? Tell me, sir, where's his uniform to which he used to say his skin? Sir, think of the fate of Wahida Shah, the recovery of missing persons, and the establishment of peace promotional organization under the flag of European Union makes it a laculent fact that when truth speaks, money remains silent. Sir, truth is like the Elysian rose, which brings an equal fragrance to all and sundry. It is the aroma which diminishes the dirty smell of inequality, injustice, nepotism, jobbery, corruption, and all other social evils. While money is the festering worm which rottens the whole fabric of civilization. Sir, money is to be guarded, but truth guards you. Because truth is the weapon which doesn't kill, but turns your foe into your friend. Your Honor, all these arguments and fact sheet that I have presented before the honorable judges and the worthy audience enable me to say that when truth speaks, money remains silent, because truth is the best, while money is the lust, which makes you the worst, while truth is a friend, which brings anonymity to an end. That's all, Your Honor.
The next debater is Mr. Haris Ali.
Gone are the days when teachers and parents were respected selflessly. Gone are the days when song was an item to listen, when every old man of town was the grandfather of every youngster, when man was preferred to dogs, when traditional nobility and character was worthier than the cars and the castles. But unfortunately, today, song is an item to watch and to stimulate. Grandfather is the name of a necessary evil named Buddha Khadus. Dresses and skyscrapers are worthier than the traditional nobility and character. Dogs are preferred to man, because when money speaks, truth remains silent. And this is the very proposition I am to speak on and to enlighten this gentle gathering. Mr. President, you cannot deny the fact that in this contemporary world, everything is on sale. Advocates sell services, judges sell justice, leaders sell dreams, soldiers sell their strength, poverty sells puberty, need sells childhood, sportsmen sell their talents, traders sell states, and lastly, voters sell their opinion. Because when money speaks, truth remains silent. Mr. President, have you ever imagined of the emotions of a 12th man of a team who sits, waits, and dreams of the time when the fortune will smile upon him? Have you ever realized of the feelings of an old man whose daughter grows older than he is without marriage? Just recall the state of a student whose mother is dying of hunger and disease and he is forced to beg. Just recall the students burning their degrees just because they don't have the recommendation and the money in their pocket. Because money is not a mere rumpled piece of paper made from the scrap of a wooden glue, but an egalitarian force that the whole world bows before it. Sir, money speaks as the sun shines, or the river flows, or the knife cuts, or the mother loves, or the father scolds, or as it rains, or the birds chirp, and just the believers believe. And those who don't believe it are indeed living in a fool's paradise. Dear sir, money is a state which defines the worth of everything. At moments, money is time. At moments, money is utility. At moments, money is power. At moments, money is generosity. At moments, money is honor. And at moments, money is beauty. It is something you like it. It is something you loathe it. It is something you want it. It is something you wasted. But mind it, you just cannot ignore it. Mr. President, let me ask my opponents why the truth was silent when Raymond Davis was offering billions of rupees to the heirs of the slain. Why the truth was silent when North Korea rolled back its atomic program. Why the truth was silent when economic sanctions were imposed on our motherland as an outcome of the atomic blast. Why the truth remained silent on Mehran's Bank scandal for decades. Why the truth is still silent on the revelations of the WikiLeaks. Why the truth is still silent regarding the facts of the Mimogate scandal. Why the truth remains silent when Pakistan is attacked with drone attacks. Why the truth remains silent when billions of dollars are given to us in the name of aid. And let me ask why the truth is constantly staying silent when the burning issues of Kashmir, Palestine and the issues of the third world countries are vetoed by a superpower. Sir, it is the nature of the truth to stay silent and to compromise. And if you are not agree with me, please come with me to Afghanistan, to Libya, to Iraq and to northern areas of Pakistan, where money is speaking with its sole rampant power, and where the ever-impending threat of falsehood which the world buys and buys at quite a high price. Mr. President, articles of constitution become articles of merchant if you have money. The Christians and the Jews repealed the verses of their holy books just for money. The bravery of Tipu Sultan and Suraj-ud-Dowla could not stand against the gravity of money. The World Bank and the IMF are all together ruling the world with the power of money. East India Company colonized subcontinent with money, and truth like ever stays silent. Sir, let me ask, what is it that money can't buy? Faith? Let's go to the courts and witness. Truth? Let's move to a police station and see. Loyalty? Let's go to the parliament and have a look. Human organs? Let's go to a public hospital and take account of. Daughters? Mr. President, daughters? Just go to any tribal poor area and have a look. And Mr. President, even it is modesty, chastity, puberty or even virginity, go to the streets of town and you will find all of these selling at very cheap rates. And it is the money which speaks. It is the money which makes it go around. And it is the money which makes the truth stay silent forever, deaf forever, dumb forever. Mr. President, it is the money which sets the standard of beauty. It is the money which decides the level of social morality, as John Elia once said. Purana جو آنکھوں کے لیے فردوس جلوہ ہے، لباس سے مفلسی میں کتنی بے قیمت نظر آتی ہے. یہاں تو جاذبیت بھی ہے دولت ہی کی برخوردہ، وہ لڑکی فاقہ کش ہوتی تو بدصورت نظر آتی. I thank you.
In English category, the last participant is Muhammad Waqas Khawar.
Truth ever lovely since the world began, the foe of the tyrants, the friend of man. Worthy sir, this august congregation aspires to give vent to my humble feelings on a sublime reality. I wonder how my worthy but unfortunately pseudo-intellectual with their distorted thoughts are trying to lead the magnified and crystal clear vision of the youth to astray. Let me proclaim that this visionary youth of present eon is not going to be derailed by the outdated doctrines of the losers. I strongly endorse my condemnation to this false notion that when money speaks, truth remains silent. Worthy sir, humanity is not merely a vain title. It is not an evolutionary stroke of time and space. It is not a pedantic exactitude, a false notion. It is not the incarnation of petrol and treachery. It is not the fabrication of dichotomy and fraud. But sir, it is a dainty tale of holding the principles of truth. It is a fascinating theme that elucidates the concept of veracity and truthfulness. It is an everlasting inspiration that inculcates a perfect harmony. It is invincible courage that never, never and never surrenders to the tyrant. Worthy sir, just pay a little attention toward the hypocritic interpretations of my opponents. Their ill-direct perception is nothing but a bumbling recrimination. Worthy sir, it is ridiculous to attribute the material endeavors as control focus. Had it been so, how would the delicate feeling of love, affection and sacrifice come into the existence? How would the historian jot down the fanciful legends of teeming tenderness and unfathomable affection? Why would the mother adore the martyrhood of their son? Why would the time extend a lasting curse on those who sold their souls for few pennies and condemned by the God? وَلَا تَلْبِسُوا الْحَقَّ بِالْبَاطِلِ وَتَكْتُمُوا الْحَقَّ وَأَنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. And confound not the truth and falsehood, and don't conceal the truth knowingly. Quran further said, قُلْ جَاءَ الْحَقُّ وَزَهَقَ الْبَاطِلِ إِنَّ الْبَاطِلَ كَانَ زَهُوقًا. The truth has come, and falsehood vanished. And undoubtedly the falsehood was certain to vanish. Worthy sir, just pay a little attention toward the yonder speakers of yonder rostrum. Are they trying to be the worst of mankind? They should remember the fate of Qarun, who had the wealth of all the world, but he was engulfed by the earth. Remember the fate of Shaddad, who was seized before entering his self-made paradise. Remember the fate of Queen Bilqis, who in spite of her great wealth has to go before a truthful person. Just recall the eye-opener decline of kingdom of Persia and Rome. But this sir, let me quote the answer of Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to the nobles of Makkah. O people, if you put sun on my right hand and moon in my left hand, I will never abandon my faith. Worthy sir, let me ask my opponents, could your rich elder persuade the torch bearer of the truth? Did Bilal Raziallahu Ta'ala Anhu convert from his faith? Did Ka'b bin Malik Raziallahu Ta'ala Anhu abandon his faith? Did Hazrat Ka'b bin Malik Raziallahu Ta'ala Anhu left the faith accepting riches? No, sir, no. Had they been like my opponents, they would have changed their fate according to them. When money speaks, truth remains silent. Worthy sir, money is an illusion, whereas the truth is clear like a rising sun. Truth is a state which confirms and corroborates the fact, and what my opponents are saying is nothing but the facts from the history or from the contemporary world. But if these words are confirming it true, even then, truth is speaking, not the money. Worthy sir, just recall the saying of Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there comes an age when the whole concern of the people will be their appetite, wealth, their respect, command their destination, money their religion, and they would be the first of mankind, and for them there will be nothing unloosed. Worthy sir, in fact, this proposition is against Islamic ideology. But if we do believe in it, we are denying the truth. Arthur Schopenhauer has rightly said, all truth passes from 3 stages. First, it is ridicule. Second, it is violently opposed. Third, it is accepted as being self-evident. In the reminiscent, I will conclude that destiny favors the volunteers. Destiny favors the volunteers who accept, confess, and explore the truth. My opponents will accept it. It's a wish, it's a prayer, and it's a hope. Thank you.
اردو تقریری مقابلے کا آغاز کرتے ہیں محمد بلال رفیق سے.
یوں تیری محفل کے افسانے رقم ہوتے گئے، تیرگی بڑھتی گئی، فانوس کم ہوتے گئے. آدمی جب قتل گاہوں کی تبسم بن گیا، زینت دربار پتھر کے صنم ہوتے گئے. مومنوں کے شہر میں غافل تجھے معلوم کیا، کتنے سر دروازہ دولت پہ خم ہوتے گئے. آج کے اس معزز ایوان میں جو قرارداد زیر بحث ہے، اس کا متن کچھ یوں ہے: قیامت ہے کہ انسان نوع انسان کا شکاری ہے. صدر علی وقار، یہ قرارداد ایک موضوع ہی نہیں، ایک آفاقی سچائی اور اٹل حقیقت ہے جس سے کوئی ذی شعور انحراف نہیں کر سکتا. کائنات کے پہلے قتل سے لے کر زمانہ موجود تک انسان نے انسان کے لیے بربریت کے وہ باب رقم کیے ہیں جسے دیکھ کر جنگل کا قانون بھی لرز اٹھتا ہے. اور ذی وقار، بہتر تھا کہ